A new horror legend is born. Let's talk about it.
We're all gonna die.
So with Hatchet 3 coming out this Friday, June 14th, I figured this would be a perfect time to do my reviews for Hatchet and Hatchet 2. Hatchet 2 I will put up on a Wednesday, and then I'll have my review for Hatchet 3 on Friday. But let's talk about the first Hatchet. Hatchet is about a group of people that go on a cheesy, haunted swamp tour and learn the legend of Victor Crowley. After the tour boat gets stuck and they are forced to travel by land, they quickly realize that the legend is very true. Now Hatchet brings back the slasher film and in full force. It's a great time and it's filled with horror, humor, and a lot of blood. Quick fun fact about the movie, the tagline for the movie is, it's not a remake, it's not a sequel, and it's not based on a Japanese one. It's really awesome how this came about because Adam Green sent this to studios and this was one of the reply letters back telling him why the movie was never going to be made. They literally told him, your movie will never be made because it is not a remake, it's not a sequel, and it's not based off a Japanese one. Adam Green spun that around and wound up using that for the tagline of the movie. And thank God that he did, because right off the bat, reading that tag, that should make the movie appealing to you. Now, Hatchet doesn't reinvent the wheel, but the movie was not made with the intention of doing that. Adam Green set out to make a fun, old-school slasher film, and he nailed it. It is a really fun time, and the movie never lets up. It is 100% entertaining from the beginning until the very last frame. One thing that Hatchet does that a lot of other slasher movies fail to do is create likable characters. Obviously, you're going to have a group of people that are expected to die, and they need to die, because if not, you would not have a slasher film at all. But in most slasher films, you get the group of people that get knocked off, you don't care about, you never get to know them, they're just there to be killed. Now, Hatchet has those people that are there to be killed, but the difference with it is each person has their own personality. Adam Green does a good job with the dialogue developing each character, not to the point where you care when they die because they are expendable, but you really get to know them, and each personality between the characters is very distinct. So you can relate to the characters to some degree, you get to know a little bit about them, and then when they're killed, it doesn't hit you emotionally, but at least you knew who that character was when they die. There's also a lot of quirky dialogue in the movie, which is a lot of fun because there's a lot of jokes thrown in there. Some of them hit, some of them miss, but I don't think they're there to hit or miss. I think you're supposed to laugh at what you find funny. Whatever else you don't find funny is okay, because this is just a typical conversation between characters. Another really nice thing about the movie as well is you get a nice backstory for Victor Crowley. Most slasher movies have a real generic backstory for the character if there is one at all. But you get a nice in-depth look at the backstory of Victor Crowley, and it does not cut you short. But let's talk a little bit more about Victor Crowley. He is a complete badass. He is played by Kane Hodder, and Kane Hodder was made for this role. He nails it perfectly, and I actually prefer him in the role of Victor Crowley than I do Jason Voorhees. Victor Crowley will definitely be a face in the horror genre that will stand the test of time. He is just so brutal and ruthless. And that brings us to the kills, and the kills are one of the biggest highlights of the movie. Every kill in the movie is very unique, it's very inventive, nothing is rehashed at all. And all the kills were done with practical effects, and they look amazing. Nothing beats or compares to practical effects. With how brutal the kills are, and the practical effects used to go with them, they look absolutely amazing on screen. Even if Hatchet is not the movie for you and you don't care so much for the quirky dialogue or the story at all, you can definitely appreciate how unique and inventive these kills are and the fact that they use practical effects throughout the movie. Hatchet is one of my favorite modern-day horror films and one of my favorite horror films in general. I definitely feel that the Hatchet franchise is going to stand the test of time. In 20 years, die-hard horror fans will go back and revisit the movie as a horror classic, and I think as more generations of kids grow up and become horror fans, they're going to go back and rediscover this movie as a classic. I highly recommend checking Hatchet out if you haven't done so already. I'm going to put a review up for Hatchet 2 on Wednesday, and then on Friday, Hatchet 3 comes out. I am so stoked for Hatchet 3 right now. It is unfucking believable. If you've seen Hatchet, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought about it, and also let me know what some of your favorite slasher films are. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and share it. And if you want to follow everything else that I do, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Until next time, keep it groovy.